Joe, let me set the scene first of all for everybody. So last night going into today, clearly there are signs of a diplomatic opening. There always has been an opportunity to talk. There are grounds for a conversation about Ukraine, with Ukraine, and that's good. We are seeing a Russian openness to conversations. On the other hand, the intelligence that we're seeing today is still not encouraging. We've got Russian field hospitals being constructed near the border with Ukraine in Belarus only can be construed as a preparation for an invasion. You've got more battalion tactical groups actually being brought closer to the border with Ukraine, according to the intelligence that we're seeing. So mixed signals, I think, at the moment, and all the more reason, therefore, for us to remain very tough and very united, and particularly on the economic sanctions. And there, what we're doing, as you know, the UK has been out in the lead for a while. What we're doing is targeting particular Russian banks, Russian companies, and making sure that we take steps, or take even more steps, to unpeel the façade of Russian property holdings, whether in this city or elsewhere, whether in London or elsewhere, unpeel the façade of Russian ownership of companies, and also take steps to stop Russian companies from raising capital on London financial markets. Now, that is a very, very tough package of sanctions. It's ready to go if Russia is so rash, so reckless as to invade Ukraine.
I've got a question on that in a second, but first, you mentioned intelligence. There are reports that the US intelligence believe that an invasion could happen at 1 a.m. Does that fit with the UK's understanding? So
we think that they have a huge preparation ready to go at virtually any time. 130,000 troops or more, huge number of more than 90 battalion tactical groups, and they are stationed around the Ukrainian border. Everybody can see what the potential routes in are, down to the south from Belarus, encircling the Ukrainian army in the east around the area the enclave in Donbass, or even coming up from the south, from the sea, taking Odessa, Kherson. That's the kind of thing they can do. There are a lot of options that they have.
And therefore, what does Vladimir Putin need to do to reassure you and other Western leaders? Because you don't sound reassured today.
I think what everybody needs to see is a program of de-escalation. And, we're hearing...
What does that mean?
That means withdrawing the battalion tactical groups away from a potential theatre of conflict, not constructing field hospitals on the border with Belarus and between Belarus and Ukraine, a sense that things are being scaled back, scaled down, that the threat is over, and that a conversation, a negotiation is beginning. We think there is an avenue for diplomacy. We've seen some positive signs from conversations between Mr. Ushakov and his American counterpart, between Sergei Lavrov and others. And if that's correct, then let's build on that.
Some critics argue that you and other Western leaders may have been played by Vladimir Putin, because the fact that so many politicians are travelling to Russia, and the fact that Russian demands are now being discussed by all of us, some would argue means that Vladimir Putin has already succeeded, whatever happens here. What's your response to that?
That's why it's so important, Joe, that we support Ukraine, and that we show that we have a package of tough, very, very tough economic sanctions ready to go, and that we support Ukraine militarily in the way that we are. The UK has been out in the front in delivering defensive but lethal military aid in the form of the anti-tank weapons, as well as the training that we've done over many, many years. The UK has been giving a lot of support to Ukraine. Final thing I would mention, this is a very difficult decision that we've just taken, and that is to keep our embassy going in Kiev, and to continue to ask Melinda Simmons, our fantastic ambassador, to do what she's doing. Now, that's a balanced decision. We have to face the fact that there is a risk. We'll keep it under constant review. But one of the things we want to do is to show the UK's continued support for Ukraine, for stability in Ukraine. And I believe that keeping our embassy going for as long as possible is an important symbol.
Finally, you talk about sanctions. On the topic of money laundering, some of your Conservative colleagues, especially senior figures on the backbenches, say that this government hasn't done enough to stop the flow of dirty money into this country. Can you promise that the economic crime bill will be in the next Queen's speech?
So I don't think that it's fair to say the UK hasn't done a huge amount on dirty money, whether it's from Russia or anywhere else. And we've actually been globally, we've been out in the lead in tackling global corruption, in tracing the sources of ill-gotten gains. And we have imposed some very tough sanctions, if you recall, after the Russian invasion or the Russian annexation of Crimea, of Sevastopol in 2014. Those sanctions remain in place. We have sanctions against everybody involved in the poisoning of Alexei Navalny, for instance. But what we want to do is strengthen now the package that we have, strengthen the measures we have against potential ill-gotten Russian money, whether here or anywhere anywhere for which we have responsibility, with new measures that will hit the companies and concerns that I've talked about, but also open up the matryoshka doll, if you like. You know what I'm talking about, so that we see who really owns the companies that we're talking about, who really owns the properties that we're talking about. And those measures, yes, we will be bringing forward from the economic crime bill.
In the Queen's speech?
Yes.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.